Hello, Stacey Fote, naturopath, nutritionist, health coach and founder of Moment for Life Health and Living. Today I'm going to be chatting about the burning topic, coffee enemas. Now before you all roll your eyes and gross yourselves out with disgusting, there is method to this madness, which is why I recommend them to all of my clients. Now, a coffee enema, yes, you are inserting coffee rectally, and I know it sounds gross, but when you know why you're doing it, it all starts to make sense. The reason I'm a big fan of coffee enemas is because we are detoxifying and cleansing the system, and it is a rapid process of elimination. Now, think about doing a 7-day juice fast. To me, that's hard work, okay? There's sacrifice, it's planning, it's a whole lot of time. Now, you can achieve almost as good a detoxification results and elimination of chemicals by doing one coffee enema, which will take you about 30 minutes from the time to prepare it and execute it. So, for me, I like things that are quick and practical and, of course, safe. So, the other good thing about a coffee enema is that when you are doing one, coffee will stimulate your liver to produce glutathione. Now, that is rapid anti-aging right there. Glutathione is a potent antioxidant. It's lipid soluble and water soluble. Now, your body produces glutathione, you cannot get it in foods. You can make it synthetically and pay lots of money for expensive supplements, but of course, facilitating your body to produce it yourself is always going to trump any artificial synthetic supplement. Now, I love coffee enemas because we're getting rapid detoxification. Now, detox will help cleanse your body when it comes to weight loss, for clearing up skin issues, for balancing hormones, for treating autoimmune conditions, any health problem at all. If you're someone that gets migraines and headaches, if you've got high blood pressure, toxins are basically the root of all evil when it comes to good health. So, coffee enemas are the hit thing. Now, I want to display a few myths that I hear out there. Now, if you jump on good old Google and put in coffee enema, you're going to come up with some horror stories, and I think it's so over the top and so dramatic. Now, the biggest one that I hear all the time is the risk of bowel perforation. Now, that blows my mind because, firstly, the bowel is like a big open balloon and all you're putting in it is water. Now, water doesn't have the ability to burst and break. Now, keep in mind your bowel has an opening. So if it got to the point it was too full, the liquid would simply enter out. So you're not going to burst your bowel. What you are inserting anally to administer the coffee enema is a very soft, smooth tip that is going in about that much. Okay, so again, the risk of perforating your bowel, I'm not quite sure how that is possible. So unless you are someone that has already a lot of bowel problems, like maybe you've had bowel surgery, bowel resection, and you have holes already, then I probably wouldn't recommend it unless you feel comfortable. But honestly, coffee enemas are extremely safe. Now, the other myth I hear is about, well, if you're relying on coffee enemas to have a bowel motion each day, that you will eventually end up with bowel sluggishness and lose peristalsis and end up with long-term constipation. Now, that's completely avoidable if you make sure you evacuate your bowels first before doing an enema. So you want to do an enema when your bowels are completely empty anyway, because that's how you're going to get the max benefits anyway. By inserting the coffee, what we're doing is we're stimulating the liver to basically open up all the bile ducts and unleash all the stored toxins within there. Now, the more often you do coffee enemas, I recommend 2 to 3 times a week. You're starting to just basically scavenge all these toxins from around the body, collect them within the bowel and eliminate them quickly. The bowel has a very, very thin wall. It's what we call penetratable. So if you leave fecal mass in the bowel for long periods of time, like what happens when you're constipated, those toxins start to cross back over the bowel wall, re-enter the blood circulation, and then you're right back to where you started. So you can imagine when you're doing a coffee enema, you're grabbing the toxins and they're going out straight away. So it is extremely safe. The coffee will not affect your adrenal glands like taking a coffee internally. So some people will get a slight buzz the first couple of times they do them. I did because I don't drink coffee, but it's not an uncomfortable feeling. I just recommend you do them before lunchtime, not in the afternoon, because it may affect your sleep.
For each enema, you need your enema kit, 1 to 3 teaspoons of organic ground coffee, and 600 to a litre of filtered water.
This is the enema kit that I recommend. It's a travel enema kit, which means that you can take it wherever you want. It's easy to clean, it's easy to fold up and whack in the bathroom cupboard, and it's easy to work with. So that's the most important thing. So we'll open it up and have a look. So your packet comes with a 2 litre holdable container, like so. All right, so you've got your thing there so you can hang it up on a doorknob of some description in the bathroom. I recommend laying down a pillow or some towels, something to make it comfortable, and you're doing it on the bathroom floor is the best place to do it, because that way if you do happen to have any leakages, no big deal, easy to clean up. We give a long hose that we attach to the coffee enema kit very, very easily. It just screws on there. Let me do that for you just so. Oh, it is easy, I promise. Okay, done. Now you'll notice that you get 2 nozzles within your packet. This big long is for, I'll get it out to show you. This is for vaginal douching, okay? So you're not popping that in the anus, you're putting this tiny little one in there. So we'll put that one aside. You would do a vaginal douche, for instance, if you had something like thrush, okay? Again, there's something that I'll chat about later at a different video, so don't go down that track just yet. So this is the nozzle. You're simply attaching it to the end of the tap, like so. And you've got a clamp that turns on and off with the water flow. Very, very simple to use. Once you have prepared your coffee, you're popping it in there, hanging it on the bathroom, and you're then laying on your right-hand side and you're inserting this. It's simple to insert. Again, you really only need to insert it about this far, so it's not painful. If it's hurting, it's only going to hurt if you're sticking in the wrong direction. Maybe if you have a hemorrhoid or some kind of an anal fissure, it can sting a little bit, but it's very, very simple. Use a little bit of coconut oil to help it slide in easily if you feel you need to. This straight like that means that it's open. This is closed, just so you know. So once you insert it, you're turning it on. Now I do recommend to, once you put the liquid in the Enema kit, to turn it on and let some of the water run out into the sink, just so we're getting rid of any air bubbles through the tube at all. So that means it administers very quickly once you get it in. Now in terms of preparing the coffee solution, it is quick and easy. You start with 1 tablespoon of coffee only. Now if you're very, very sensitive to caffeine, start with a teaspoon to see how you go. And you want to be basically using about 1 litre. There is marks on here. Now I do a litre, but I'm a seasoned coffee enema. I've been doing them for years. Some people start with 500 to 600 mils, whatever you feel comfortable with. The idea is to hold the enema for at least 12 to 15 minutes, because that's the time it takes for the liver to really wake up and start scavenging the toxins, get the glutathione production happening, get the gallbladder a chance to open up and release as well. If you can't hold it for that long, that's okay. You will get better at it. It's about strengthening those muscles as well. Now to prepare your coffee, you are putting 1 tablespoon into a saucepan with some filtered water and let it simmer for about 10-15 minutes. Now that's a perfect time to do it first thing as soon as you wake up. Go off and get ready, prepare your breakfast or whatever you're doing for the day, come back. Now I put ice cubes in it to cool it down quickly. You can put an ice brick in it, you could put cold water depending on how much liquid's left, depending on how long you boiled it for. So you want to bring it back up to about 600 to a litre. Pop it in there. Now you want the water to be body temperature basically. If it's too cold, you'll find that it'll feel uncomfortable and you may not be able to hold it for the desired period of time. If it's too hot, it'll feel uncomfortable and same effect. I do not recommend buying pre-made coffee solution, and the reason for that is because coffee has a really high affinity for mold, which means that it grows mold very quickly. So if you're making up your solution, within 24 to 48 hours, that coffee will start to grow mold. So do it that morning of, or at the very least the night before. But if you're buying the pre-made ones, they're going to have some kind of preservative in to prevent that mold growth. So it may be a natural preservative, sure, but it's still something extra that your liver has to process and metabolize. And the whole idea of this is to detoxify. So we don't want to be adding extra load. So just buy some organic coffee and make it up yourself that morning. It's really, really quick and easy. Now, what to expect while you're doing your coffee enema. You shouldn't feel too much pain. You will feel some cramping. That's normal. That's the natural peristaltic movement of the bowel doing this. Now, it's not normal to have, a litre of fluid in there. So your body's just naturally going to go, all right, let's move this out. So to hold it for 10 to 12, 15 minutes is easy some days. Some days you'll go, oh, it's cramping, I can't hold it, and I'm going to get up and simply release. Usually you can just kind of breathe through that contraction. It will stop after 5 to 10 seconds. Sometimes they're stronger than others. Sometimes they're very light. But that contraction's normal. That mild cramping pain you feel, it's normal. It's not doing any damage at all. So that's okay. When it comes to releasing, it's as simple as standing up, walking to the bathroom and having a liquid bowel motion. There's nothing too traumatic about it. It will take 10, sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes to release it all, because your body will release in waves. So you do want to make sure you've got enough time in the morning when you are doing it. You can do them in the evenings if you're someone that's not sensitive to coffee, but I just know personally it's easier for the morning to get it done. Now in terms of what you will find, Some people are expelling parasites, some people are expelling candida, some people are expelling gallstones, very, very common, they're little cholesterol stones. If you have a huge gallstone, you're not going to release that. So don't be worried about if you're someone that's got gallstones. It's not a dangerous practice to do. You would need to dissolve them first for them to move. That's pretty much the lowdown of it. Once you've done it, I promise you it's not scary. It's really, really simple. It's actually quite a relaxing process. I go in, I take my phone, I do my emailing, I listen to music, and it's over and done with very, very quickly. So I cannot highly recommend a coffee enema more because you're getting rapid detoxification, it assists with weight loss, it assists with all health ailments. And most importantly, the anti-aging antioxidant factor is a winner for me too. So please be brave, give it a go. I guarantee you once you've done it once, it's not as gross as you think. It's all about health and well-being, and that's the aim of the game for me. So hopefully I've answered a few questions. Don't be afraid to jump on the Moment for Light Facebook page and give me some more questions if you have any. I'm happy to make a video about anything. So I hope that was good for you and hope you enjoy your coffee enemas.